Welcome to the Mind Master podcast. The podcast is going to be giving you the tools, techniques, and insights you can begin to adopt in order to completely transform your mind. Now, in this episode, we're going to be looking at how you can begin to get unstuck in your personal life and business. Guys, welcome to the very first Mind Master podcast. Now, I'm extremely excited. It's been a long time coming. I've had a lot of people asking for me, but for me personally, this is something that I've really wanted to do. Voice, I think, is going to be a massive thing in the future. It already is. And I think it's amazing that wherever you are right now, we're able to connect over this short period of time. And, we can exchange some ideas that is going to really help you and me as well in order to achieve what we really want to achieve. Now, Today, as I mentioned before, we're going to be looking at how you can begin to get unstuck. Now, feeling stuck is something that we experience all throughout our life. It could be in our relationship, it could be in our business, it could be in our fitness goals, it could be in absolutely anything. When we feel stuck, it can be extremely frustrating. But for me, and what I want to share with you today is that usually when we feel stuck, it's a sign that something bigger and better is on its way. But what we need to do, we need to change the way that we are looking at things or change the actions that we are taking. So what I want to show you is, I want to show you a process that you can begin to use in order to assess and identify where you are holding yourself back, and some tools and techniques you can begin to apply in order to overcome that. Now, this is a principle that I bring to a lot of my coaching clients. Is a principle in which a lot of my coaching programs are based on, and it's the 3 S's. Whatever is holding you back can be categorized, can be found, simplified into one of these S's. And a lot of people say, well, hold on a second, Olly. No. I've got lots of reasons why my business or my relationship or my personal life isn't working out. It can't be that simplified. But I'm telling you it can. And we all have this. We all have this idea that our problem's unique, is very special. But the reality is, the reason that you are being held back right now is a reason that has held thousands, if not millions of people back in the past. So let's tap into this. Let me go over these 3 S's so that you can begin to identify and change what is holding you back. So the first S is a strategy. This is a plan. This is the action plan of how we're going to get where we want to go. And a lot of people don't do this. And if they do it, they don't add enough detail to that. So that's the first S. The second S is a story. We all have a story, right? We all have this idea of who we are, who we aren't, what we're good at, what people have done to us, what they haven't done to us or done for us. That is a story, and that massively affects our actions, our reality, the way that we experience life and experience our relationships with others. Now, the third is our state, emotional state. Now, if you followed me off from Instagram, you hear me talking about this a lot. The emotional state is powerful. It is extremely powerful, because it's constantly dictating the way that you're perceiving and reacting to life. And it doesn't matter how much you have everything else down. If you don't have a consistent emotional state, then you are never, ever going to be achieving the results that you really want to achieve. And if you by some luck of a miracle you are not going to enjoy it. Okay? So let's dive into the first S, which is a strategy. And I've broken this down a little bit further again. It is the what, the why, and the how. Okay? So the what do you want? Now, the biggest reason that people fail or they don't achieve what they want is because they are not specific enough with exactly what they want. Okay? Now, one of the metaphors I like to use is, imagine that you have a dart and you're going to throw it at a board. You saying something like, I want more money, or I want to lose weight, is a bit like saying, I just want to hit the board. Okay? And what kind of scores are you expecting to get if you just say to yourself with the dart, I just want to hit the dartboard? You are not going to get great scores. But what's going to change when you say, I want to hit that bullseye? Okay? I want to earn 20 more grand this month or this year. Okay? What's going to happen when you say, I want to lose 10 pounds or I want to lose 2 stone? Okay, you are already changing the game. You are already changing the way that your mind is looking at this problem by being specific. And the biggest problem is we create vague goals which produce vague results. Not even vague results, they produce no results. Because we find ourselves procrastinating because we're not really sure where we are. We can't track our progress. We don't know how we're doing. There is a million reasons why you need to be specific. So ask yourself right now, what exactly What exactly do I want in my life? How much do I want to earn? How exactly do I want to feel? What partner do I want exactly? What qualities do I want him or her to have? Okay, that small step is already going to massively improve your chances of achieving exactly what you want. It's going to create the level of clarity that you have not had before. So what's the next step of the strategy? The next strategy is the why. The why. Why do you want this? Why is this important to you to have? Now, I'm going to chuck out a wild statistic. I think 80% of the people are chasing goals that mean nothing to them. And that is a reason why they are massively unsuccessful. Because we need to realize that if we want to achieve something, we better make sure that that something means a lot to us, because achieving something great is not easy. And if you are not emotionally invested, if you are not emotionally attached to achieving that outcome, okay, you are going to give up as soon as the going gets hard, okay? The going gets tough. As soon as that happens, you're going to say, no, thanks. See you later. So you need to ask yourself, why is this important for me? Why is this important for the people around me that I love? What is this going to do for me? Why does this mean so much to me? Because you're going to keep needing to return to that state of emotion, because it is emotions that are going to pull you forward. Okay, willpower is dead. Willpower is dead. It's good for initiating habits, but it is not going to take you on a long goal or help you achieve a long achievement. Okay, so you need to ask yourself, why is it important for me emotionally to achieve this? And once you've done that, once you've decided why that is super important for you, you need to then work on the how. How am I going to get myself in a position to achieve what I really want to achieve? Now, one of the things that I do with my clients is what's your 3 months plan? What's your 6 month plan? And what's your 3-year plan? And you need to be specific. You need to ask yourself, why is this important for me emotionally? But you need to write down step by step the process that you need to take in order to achieve what you really want to achieve. Okay? Because the more clear you are, the more your mind is able to understand, the less you procrastinate, and the more you're able to execute. So much of the time I see people not creating a great how-to plan. And they're like, well, I don't know what to do next. Or, yeah, I feel like I'm kind of there. You have to create a step-by-step plan. Okay? That creates a picture better in your head. The better you have it in your head, the more likely you are to execute with complete clarity and confidence. So that makes up the strategy. The what we want specifically, the why we want it emotionally, and how the step-by-step process that we're going to take in order to make sure that we can achieve that goal as soon as possible. Now, you may have this already. You may say, well, Olly, I've planned this out. I'm a planner. I've planned out pages and pages and pages and pages daily of how I am going to achieve my goal. So what else could be stopping you? Well, it might be your story. Now, our story, we all have one. We all have one, and it's based a lot on what's happened to us before, the people we've been around, the TV that we've watched. It creates an idea within our mind of what's possible and what's not possible. It creates an idea within our mind of how much value we're worth or how much we're not worth. Okay? It creates an idea of what we're good at and what we're not good at. And this belief, this story that we hold in our mind affects absolutely everything within our life, because it affects our thoughts. It affects our emotions. It affects our behaviors. So the biggest reason that people tell you that your dream is impossible or that you can't do it or that it's rare is because they have created and they live by the story that success, fulfillment, happiness are things that only rarely happen. And because they believe that, or maybe because you believe that, you've stopped trying altogether. And if you have the belief, if you have that story in the back of your head, I don't think this is going to work. I don't think this is going to work. How much action are you going to take? You're not going to take much action at all. But what I want to say to you is, if you really care about this, if this really means a lot to you, there is absolutely no reason why this cannot become a reality for you. But for as long as you keep listening to that story, that voice in your head that's saying, maybe this won't work out. What if this, what if that? You are going to get nowhere. So what you need to do is you need to begin to challenge the ideas, challenge the limitations that you have created or inherited, and you need to begin to reject them. Now, this isn't easy. I know this isn't easy. It takes time. And some ways that you can begin to really recreate that story is to begin to fill your mind, feed your mind with the most positive stuff possible. Like this podcast is a great start. It's absolutely a great start. Books, talking to people who inspire you, who have a different story to the negative story of those who are around you already. Okay? Because if you're chilling around people who have all this negative stories, soon you're going to inherit that story. And it's going to become a part of your story also. So one of the ways that we can begin to change this story is, 1, to become aware of the story that we're currently telling ourselves. 2, begin to challenge it. 3, begin to feed our mind with positivity as much as possible, as often as possible. 4, begin to surround yourself with people who are telling a better story than the people that you're around already. And 5, begin to practice mindfulness meditation. Now, the reason that I always bang on about mindfulness meditation is because it is absolutely amazing. It completely changed my life, and it will completely change yours. But why it helps you specifically in this case is it allows you to become aware of the story. It begins to allow you to create a sense of space between you and that negative story that's been following you around your whole life. So if you are struggling with the beliefs, the idea of whether this is possible or not, those are some things that you can begin to adopt and work with in order to change that story. Once you change your story, you'll begin to change your thoughts, your emotions, and your behaviors. And once you have developed absolute certainty that what you are going to achieve is possible, then you will do everything you can. The only reason that we don't try is because we don't think it's possible. So what is a final S? A final S is a state. It is the emotions that we are experiencing from day to day. Now, why is this so incredibly important? Because you could have the strategy, okay? You can have the story, the belief, yes, I can do this. But if you don't have the emotional state, you're not going to follow through. You're going to be, well, I'm too tired, or I'm too stressed, or there's just not enough time to get things done. No, you need to manage your state. You need to take control of how you are feeling on a day-to-day basis. Now, the reason why our emotions are so incredibly important in our life is because of this. Emotions change, 1, the way that we behave, the way that we feel to behave, and 2, the way that we look at our life. So, for example, the way that we look at our life. Have you ever noticed that when you're in a good state of mind, your problems seem kind of small? And then as soon as you become a little bit stressed, in proportion to your stress, you find those problems are increasing in size. Have you not noticed that? Or maybe you've been really angry at someone, okay? You've been infuriated. And in that anger, you said something. And as soon as you said it and you calmed down a little bit, you thought, why did I say that? That is not true. That is not what I mean. You see, emotions are incredibly influencing. They're just like a drug, okay? When you are under the influence of emotion, it massively changes the way that you look at your life. Now, an example I like to use is, imagine that your life looks amazing on the outside, okay? But you are at the same time experiencing, I don't know, depression. How good does your life look? It does not look good at all, okay? Your life only looks as good as the emotions you're experiencing. And the problem is, our emotion is a filter. It's a filter in which we see our world through. And if we have lousy filters, if we have lousy emotions, we're experiencing bad emotions, your life will never look that good. Your business will never look that good. You'll start blaming your relationship. You'll begin to look for problems. So what we need to realize is that when we begin to experience positive emotions, when we take the small steps and habits and create positive emotions, we begin to see our life, our business, our relationship through those positive emotions. Okay? But what happens? What happens when we don't do that? Well, we leave it to chance. And depending on how your mood looks, it determines how you look at your life. And more importantly, it determines your behavior. Okay? If you're in a crappy mood, you're going to focus on what's bad, and then you're going to behave. You're going to behave badly as well. If you're feeling angry, full of anger, you're not going to be wanting to connect with people and really create new relationships. You're going to be wanting to blame people. If you're feeling anxious, the last thing that you feel like doing is being brave. Okay, you're going to focus on everything that's wrong, and you're going to behave influenced by that negative emotion. So one of the things that you need to do is you need to manage your state, because you need to realize your life is only as hard as the thoughts and emotions that you're currently experiencing. And the amazing thing is the thoughts and emotions are in your control. Okay? But if you don't take care of your state by creating routines and habits that are going to help get you in a good state of mind, then you're not going to be able to follow through. You're going to find that you're running out of time. You're going to find that you don't have the energy. You're going to find that you're too stressed. You're too overwhelmed. And this is one of the biggest reasons that people fail in business, is because they cannot manage their state. But if you manage your state, okay, if you can begin to get yourself in a good state of mind day by day, you're going to be looking at life, one, in the highest level possible. Okay, you're going to be looking at it with a high level creativity. You're going to be looking at it with a high level positivity. But two, your actions, your behaviors are going to be inspired by that positivity, and they're going to inspire others around you. I'm telling you, your life will become so much easier just as long as you can manage your mind. Okay? It doesn't matter how hard that situation is. If you've got your thoughts and emotions in control, then you've got control over yourself, and that's all that matters. So what is something that you can begin to do in order to completely transform your state? Well, it's all about habits, as I've already said. It's all about routines. And again, I'm going to go back to mindfulness. Mindfulness is one of those things where it guarantees that it's going to put you in at least a good state once you practice it enough. Okay, focusing again on something that you're grateful for. 3 things you're grateful for. Go on, think of 3 things that you're grateful for right now. You may not feel that gratitude. You may think, well, I'm a bit too stressed to feel grateful right now. But imagine if you did. If you could feel grateful, what would you be grateful for? Great. Okay, so what else? We've got mindfulness. We've got gratitude. Sport, moving the body. One of the quickest ways for you to improve your life massively and to prove how you feel instantly is to move your body. Because as soon as you move your body, you're creating different chemicals. You're going to feel different things. That's all emotions are. They're different chemical soups, so to speak. And the quickest way for you to create a beautiful soup is to begin to move your body, okay? The mind and body are one. That's one thing that should stick in your mind. And if you can move your body more, you're going to feel more confident. You're going to feel better about yourself. And it can happen instantly. And that's why being lethargic, not moving, sitting at your desk all day is one of the quickest ways to feel anxiety, to feel stress, to feel all these negative emotions. So if you're struggling, if you're looking for that breakthrough, if you're stuck, go for a run. Push yourself harder than you've pushed yourself before. And if you do that, if you make that habit, you are going to master your state. So those are the 3 S's. We've looked at the strategy. We've looked at the story. We've looked at the state. So you need to ask yourself right now, which one of these are holding me back or making me feel stuck in this same position? And what action now can I begin to do based on the recommendations I've given you that is going to help massively in changing one of those areas, or maybe 2 of those areas, or maybe even 3 of those areas? I hope that's been helpful for you guys. It's been an absolute pleasure to make for you this podcast. I'm still learning, so it might take a while for me to finesse this as much as I would like, but thank you so much, and I will see you guys on the next one.